Hey, what's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to show you how I make videos. I'm going to show you the setup, the software, and the hardware that I use, and kind of just go through things, how to make tutorials online. And I get asked this a lot of the time when I'm usually asked things besides, check out my SoundCloud. I get asked, it's like I'm trying to make a tutorial with Ableton, and I have ASIO, and there's no audio. I can't get audio to work. And it's a little bit, it's not that tricky to do this sort of thing, but I'm going to show you how I go about doing this thing. So I started out with a very simple setup. I decided that I wanted to make videos, and this is the first microphone that I bought. And I want to frame this because I went to Best Buy and I bought this thing. And the reason I bought it is because it had a mute function, so I could actually be like, da 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 da, here's how you da, and then I would uh, mute it, and then I would do the thing. And I was kind of like going to be my own gate, and I was going to constantly do that. And I remember in my videos, I would like talk right. And and that's basically how I started out. I had this, and I had like, just a cheap, crappy, like really bad webcam, and that's how I started making videos. And I had like weird routing and stuff like that in order to get it to work. It was kind of a pain, but I started doing it, and it's always been like this quest for better quality. It's always been a quest to, not get lost in thought and like forget what to say and not be like and like breathing into the microphone and stuff like that. And I have better quality video, better quality webcam, better quality microphone. It's always a quest, but I suggest you just kind of get started with what you have and go from there. I started out, with not a whole lot of money for investment, and I started out with this crappy thing, and I somehow made it work to where you see me today. So let's start off with the software that you need. It's very simple, and when I started out, I used a program called XSplit, because there was no other alternative. There was OBS, but it wasn't quite there yet. It was buggy. It didn't really work, and it just wasn't there. So I started out with XSplit, and it was like a weird routing situation with like the output of my Motu sound card into the input. It was a mess, and like virtual audio cable and like routing and different drivers and stuff like that. And there was like a delay. It was awful, and you could hear the speakers in the microphone. Anyway, so you know, it being like a quest for better quality and the setup that I have now, I just want to kind of go through that. So first, you want to get OBS Studio. OBS Studio is one of the better, it's probably one of the best, because it's free, it's open source, and anyone can add to it and change it and do other things to it. It's cross-platform. It works well. It's very stable. You can record, you can stream different formats, different encoding, H.264, super high quality audio, multi-track audio. It's just, you can't go wrong. So you go to OBS and then you download it and you install it, and it looks like this. Like, this is my OBS setup. I've been recording for 3 minutes, 45, 46. And yeah, I just have all my stuff here. And the problem that you're going to run into is you're not going to have the ability to record ASIO, because ASIO is not going to be supported in this out of the box. You're going to want to install the ASIO plugin, which is over here. This is OBS ASIO. I want you to Google OBS ASIO and then go to the GitHub down here. And then you'd be like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. This is like, how do I gotta compile this, whatever? No, you want to go to releases here. And then you'll get the ASIO plugin 1.30. This is the one that I have. And you want to download the installer. Or you can download the source and compile it yourself or whatever. But yeah, download the installer, install that, and it will install the plugin for you. And then you will get this ASIO drop-down menu. So this will be different for everyone. First, you want to make note of what interface you are using. So this is the interface that we are, make sure I have this. Yeah, this is the interface we are using. It is a Pro 40. So that is my particular use case. You'll most likely have a different interface. So you want to go up to ASIO here, boom, active device, click on the active device that you want to use. You could have multiple. Go to settings, and then you want to select your ASIO Sapphire or whatever ASIO device that you are using. Make sure the sample rate and the buffer size match what you have in your particular hardware unit. So 44.1, and the buffer size is 256. And what is this? 44.1, 256. Cool. Hit apply, close that, and you will essentially, you might want to restart this after you install a plugin. Close OBS, and then install the plugin. So there you have that. And for those wondering, you just select a source, go to ASIO input, and then you can have your ASIO input here. You have to have it within the scene. That's how plugins work in OBS and things like that. So how do I have my OBS set up? And I'm clipping just a tiny bit, but that's okay. We don't need to worry about that quite yet. So how OBS works is you have scenes and sources. So I have my scene here, which is showing what I'm doing with my, dumb face in the bottom right. Then I have my scene 2, which is a full screen dumb face, right? And yeah, how it works is, you have, you add sources. Scenes are just collections of sources, and those are your sources essentially. So I have my audio capture device, which is my webcam, which is here, right? My Logitech C930. I'll go over the equipment that I'm using in a bit. And, you can configure video and stuff like that, set the frame rate and the resolution, things like that. You can add it, you can move it around, you can order them so you can have it kind of behind, which you don't want. I want the webcam above everything, which brings me to my next source, which is my image, which is my watermark on the bottom left that I have. It's just a thing I made in Photoshop, and you can use the arrow keys to move it around, and we can make this full screen and kind of see what's going on. And that's my my watermark image here. Display capture, that is my screen that you are seeing. Right click properties, and it's display 0, capture cursor. This was really buggy in the beginning, but now it's rock solid. You can see everything, and you can do all sorts of stuff with that display capture. And then I have my ASIO input. Now this is a little bit different and tricky to hook up. So you want to drop that in, and then you go to properties, and then you have your ASIO Sapphire as a device, and then channel 1 and 2 is left and right. That is my loop 1 and loop 2. So the Focusrite line of products have this ability to do something called a loop back. So it'll take any kind of audio that's going through it and then send that to a channel as an input. So you can have like a YouTube video and you can record it in Ableton or something like that. It's just a cool feature that they have. And it's a loopback 1, mix 1 L and R, loopback 1 and 2, left and right. Right. So depending on your setup, you might have a different source or whatever. So you just want to play around with that. Yeah, should be pretty self-explanatory. And then there you have it. You'll have your ASIO input down there, which will pick up your digital audio workstation, the audio in, which is pretty cool. So there's that setup. And then I just basically right-click, duplicated, and I have scene 1 where I just made the webcam. Made the webcam bigger. I actually should show you, right? Can't really see, but right, maybe you could see down here. I just made it, just made it bigger, and then there I am. Microphone setup. Now this is something that is very tricky. I'm not, unless you're like, you have like radio broadcast stuff, but what I have in OBS and what sets it apart is it has different filters that you can add to it. You can even add VSTs if you're so adventurous. So we can go to the gear here for the microphone auxiliary, which is what I'm talking into right now. Go to filters. I have a gain just to bring the volume up, and then I have something cool called a noise gate. So the microphone will only open when I'm actually talking into it, and it'll close once I stop talking, basically. So you don't hear the speakers through the microphone, you just hear the audio. So it's a cleaner audio. And yeah, set up your gates and make sure that you have your volume at a consistent volume. You'll have better quality audio tutorials. See, it's closing right now, and what I can do is I can kind of snap my fingers. It's not picking that up. Oh, kind of did there. Anyway, it's one of those things. Anyway, so yeah, that's basically the basic setup of OBS, and you can do something unique here if you wish. But yeah, anyway, so let's go through the equipment. So I found a mirror. My partner is wondering why this mirror is so shiny now. Oops. That she'll know why, because I used it to show off the webcam that I have, and that little springy bit is the gooseneck, and that's what I have looking at me right now. And yeah, a very frightening mirror. Anyway, so I have multiple displays, and I always have, oops, that I have OBS over there, and then I have my main screen over here. That makes sense. So that's the basic setup that I have over there. Over here, I have a microphone stand thing, spring arm. It's called a PSA one, and then my microphone. I'm going to go through the equipment that I use to do this sort of thing. So we have OBS, and then we have ASIO set up. I encourage you to test and retest and test your video, and like adjust levels and stuff like that. And just you'll use it and you'll kind of figure it out as you go. The webcam that I have is a Logitech C930. That's what I'm looking at right now, and it fits on a thing called a gooseneck. You don't need to use a Logitech C930. The Logitech cameras are really good at the autofocus and good color, good frame rate. They operate good low light, things like that. The reason I got this one is because it has a wider field of view than regular cameras. So it's like not a fisheye, but it captures more of like what's going on. So that's why I got that. And you don't have to choose Amazon. I'm just do a Google search and then there they are. And then I just got a gooseneck. These little goosenecks, they just clamp onto a table and you can move these things around. I wouldn't get that one just because it might droop or whatever. And this one is just too much machinery. I have this one, it clips on and you can move it around, and it's a way for it to be in front of things instead of having like a tripod in your way. It's like right there, which works out well for me. I have a Rode Podcaster, which is a USB microphone. So the reason why I use a USB microphone is because it's basically its own separate sound card. So it's a separate thing. I don't have to have like an XLR through the interface and then have like weird routing within Ableton or use another. Yeah, there's like a way to do it with like a virtual mix bus or like ASIO routing. I wouldn't. I very much dislike that setup, so I have it as its own separate entity. With USB, it's its own sound card and it's its own input here, and it doesn't communicate. It doesn't rely on ASIO or any sort of plugin. It's just always there, which is pretty cool. So it's its own separate thing. Another reason why I got it, I've used quite a few microphones in my time, and this is the one that just lends well to my voice. I can speak right into it, and the reason why I speak right into it is because I don't want the speakers, you'd be able to hear what's coming through the speakers, because you get like this weird crosstalk echoey thing. It doesn't sound good. I speak up to it, speak right into it. It sounds good. It has a internal pop filter, which is pretty good, and internal shock mounting, and 10-year warranty. It's just a really good microphone for how much it is and stuff like that, and it's quite sturdy and things like that, and audio file quality, whatever that means. Yeah, it just works out great, rock solid, and yeah, again, I don't need like this gigantic pop filter thing that just goes over it, that's covering my face. That just looks bad, and this just lends well, don't you think? It just lends well to to the the personality that I am. Like this is just my white microphone. It's like almost like the focus of the video right now. It's like boom, and there's no like pop filter like in front of my face like I used to have. Anyway, really good microphone. Recommend it. And then I have a PSA 1. This thing, when you first use it, will pinch your fingers. So just be careful. It will hurt. But yeah, it's really good. It comes with the ability to just clamp it onto the desk. Does it actually show it? Come on. Yeah, there's this little thing down here that you can screw onto the desk. It comes with another one. You can actually bore a hole into the desk and have it in the center. It's just a really good, and it just goes where you need it and things like that, and it goes out of the way. I actually have two of them. This is one. This one is just another one that I have. This is the talkback microphone that the when we're recording, I can be like, all right, take two, and they can hear me. This talkback microphone. Yeah, just really good, really solid, and yeah, can't complain with these. And that's basically basically it. So when you start up Ableton, you'll be able to pick up the audio through Ableton, and you'll be able to talk and explain how to sidechain. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, I encourage you to, and yeah, if you have less than ideal microphone, wear headphones and just don't have any kind of outside interference as well. That's also another option. This microphone has a really interesting pickup pattern. And yeah, anyway, it's just a dynamic microphone that lends well to my voice. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you learned stuff. Take care and have a good one.